dream that one day, white people, black people, and even Asian people, that one day they will look at me and realize that I'm Dominican and not Mexican.
Amen.
So that when I begin speaking in my native tongue, they will see me as a Hispanic from the Caribbean and not from Mexico. No matter how many times I stress the fact that I come from the Dominican Republic, somebody still insists that I am a Mexican. For you ignorant people out there, I challenge you to take me for who I am and forget about the stereotypes associated with Hispanics. Once I begin speaking Spanish, a few of you will most likely infer that I am speaking a language called Mexican. Since when did Mexico have its own language? Exactly. You guys need to get past your mindsets of grouping people together just because of a few similarities in their cultures. I'm not saying being Mexican is bad, rather that I want to be recognized for my own culture and my own nationality. I don't necessarily become offended, but I do definitely become annoyed at the insensitivity present in this kind of conversation. I mean, how would you feel if I called you British just because you spoke English? Or if I called you African just because your skin was dark? Right? Now, you might say it doesn't matter, but I guarantee that after the 1,500th time that you've been called that, you will begin to get irritated. Dominican culture means something to me. I respect it. Dominican culture values family, relationships, and handling your own business. I, therefore, value these things. Nothing that I have been taught from my parents, who are obviously Dominican,
Not Mexican.
goes against these values. I was born and raised in the Bronx, but these values are still a crucial part in my life, and it influences my every decision. When I go back to my parents' native country, where most of my family resides, I fit right in because I follow the same principles that most native Dominicans follow. I treat my mom and dad with more respect than that I've witnessed here in America with Americans. I spend more time with my family than most Americans do because that's what my culture advises me to do. I value the relationships I have with my aunts, uncles, and cousins, and I never disrespect any of my elders because my culture does not accept that. It's hard to follow these principles, especially with the influence of Americans all around me. But most importantly, my culture has taught me to continue moving on in life, no matter what obstacles become present in my path to success. I mean, my father left my household when I was in the 6th grade. It was hard for me and my family, yeah, but I still wake up every morning and handle mine. Nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing should stop me. At least that's what my culture tells me. These values are probably not that different than that of Mexicans, but I imagine that some, if not all, of you follow some of these values, to some extent at least. That does not mean that my family's background and your family's background are necessarily the same. Therefore, I'm not Mexican. I mean, I don't even have the stereotyped Mexican diet. My family does not make burritos, tacos, or chile for dinner. Ever. We do eat the typical rice and beans, but come on, what Hispanic culture doesn't?
True.
The typical Dominican
Not Mexican.
dishes consist of plantains and salami, various soups, and avocado sandwiches. This may sound weird. I mean, I expect it. I mean, you're not Dominican. But just because you're not Dominican and don't know my culture's ways doesn't mean that you should group me with any other group that really has no relations to me besides language. I mean, that's just that's inconsiderate and just plain stupid.
Idiotic.
Thank you for listening to the Dominican
Not Mexican.
in front of you.